こんにちは皆さん、私はブランドンです。明けましておめでとうございます。But it's a bit tough to say that after everything that's happened in Japan these past few days. First with the earthquake on New Year's Day, the Nato quake in the Ishikawa prefecture. It was tough to see because I woke up, day was going as normal as it could, and then this. I was just scrolling YouTube and I saw the news article and it sucks because you want to ring in a brand new year and yet Japan right off the bat is hit with this earthquake that at the minute, from this article as you can see here, it's 65 total dead, which is always saddening because it's 65 people that had hopes and dreams and were family to people, and yet now they're gone tragically. So it was tough to see, especially knowing people from Japan. One of my friends, her family actually lives in this prefecture, so I was able to get in contact with her and she's like, everybody's fine, I was on a business trip but my family's fine, so that was good to hear. And some other people that I knew, they were in different prefectures, so they weren't affected nearly as much, so that was a relief to some degree. But from the looks of this, it's so many people affected. 33,000 residents have to be evacuated from all this. And it's just it's tough to see, because I saw news articles and newscasts saying the earthquake, of course, is the big thing that happens, but with that magnitude you can expect about like 100 aftershocks, those smaller levels, and one big aftershock of a sizable magnitude. And it's like, it's just been one and done, just one earthquake and that's it. But so I've been reading through all these articles telling about how there was the power outages, the water supply right now. With the water supply out of action in many areas in the prefecture, hospitalizations Shuzu and Wajima were considered transferring patients to other facilities, prefecture's officials say. 37 people were listed as having quake-related injuries in Toyama Prefecture as of 6 p.m. on January 2nd. The figure of Fukui Prefecture was 6 as of noon that day. It was a tough day seeing all that, and I bet it was already difficult enough as it was, but as many of you know, there was also the plane crash that happened with the airliner and the Coast Guard that were on their way to give relief to the prefecture to help in evacuation, supplies, all these things. Crazily enough, and thankfully, everybody on board the airliner were safe, which is crazy to see just from these images alone. Like, this thing is fully engulfed in flames, and luckily I believe it was only 14 people were taken to hospital for burn and smoke related injuries. But sadly, the Coast Guard plane, 5 of the 6 crew were killed, which is a tragedy to say. I've been spending the past maybe like half hour scouring as many news sources as I can to find out their names, and the only information I could get was there was a 41-year-old co-pilot, 27-year-old communication officer, a 39-year-old radar officer, a 47-year-old mechanic, and a 56-year-old maintenance worker were the ones that were lost in this crash. But the captain, age 39, was seriously injured with burns but was conscious when taken to hospital. It's just, it's insane how everything just kind of happened at once. Like, looking at this plane, how it is, thankfully there was no casualties from the airliner. Of course, nothing like this ever wants to happen. Is kind of the silver lining in a tragedy. And it's just tough to see everything that's happening in Japan. Like, for example, I was watching this news article earlier today, and it's just crazy to see the plane as it is, fully charred, and besides the wing, this is unrecognizable. You'd think someone lit a bonfire or something, and that's why there's just a stretch of burns.
全員脱出し、14人が怪我をしたということです。機体の大部分が破損し、原形をとどめていないことがわかります。昨日羽田空港の滑走路に着陸しようとした。
It's just a lot to ring in the new year this way with such tragedy, because nobody wants to experience all this. I don't even know how to process this, and I'm across the sea from all this, and it's still just painful thinking that the whole country was already in mourning to some degree with the earthquake and those that you lost. So then now this plane crash to where you've lost heroes that were on their way to go help those in need. It's just tough. It's heartbreaking being all this. But all I can really say is I just hope everybody's okay to the best that it can be. Honestly, that's really all this video was for. This wasn't really a reaction video kind of being like, oh, what happened to all this? I feel this was more, I just wanted to use the following that see this, and mainly people in Japan, and just say, I see what's happening, I'm really sorry this is happening to you, and all I can say is, from the best way that I can through this screen, is I'll try to be there for you, and I pray that everything gets better throughout the rest of the year, and that even though myself and other people as well, we may not be from Japan, our hearts are with you. I've been trying to find a way to donate to for the earthquake relief, but I've been hearing around like you have to have a Japanese number in order to donate, and people from overseas are trying to donate. It's been really, really difficult. And I know one YouTuber, Joey Bessinger, he's been kind of reporting on this a little bit, and he's been trying to find avenues like that. I've been in communication with people that I know, and I've been trying to find things like that. I might have possibly found a donation website for people that are not from Japan that are able to give relief or some sort of financial support. From the looks of it, some of it is news articles, but I think I might have found one on the aarjapan.gr.jp. The Noto Peninsula Earthquake, AARP Japan launched emergency assistance. Here, I'll pull it up on screen now just so that we have it. Japan.gr.jp. So if anybody that is not from Japan, I believe, can donate to this through this website, which is definitely the biggest thing, because it's finances are definitely the thing that helps everything. Being able to pay the heroes that risked their lives looking for the people in the earthquake, being able to buy supplies for the people that need it, such as water, food, any sort of medical prescription or medical personnel that is needed. So I believe this is the best way to do so. That's what I've been trying to find, because yeah, I'm gonna be donating a portion of some of the what's the word I'm looking for? Revenue from the earthquake video that I made. It's kind of bittersweet because I saw that it passed 100 100K, no, sorry, yeah, 100,000 views recently. And again, it's bittersweet under the circumstances that it did. If there was any other circumstances, it'd be like, oh cool, the video passed like 100,000 views, but then with all the tragedy that's going on and kind of it being related to it, I kind of am like, it doesn't feel like an accomplishment in any sort of degree. It's just heartbreaking that there's something related to that happened again. And so, yeah, I'm going to be donating some portion to this organization from that video. It has limited monetization, so whatever I can scrape from there, I'm going to just be throwing into here. Because, again, I physically cannot be in Japan, but this is the best way to help. So please, if you guys can and are willing, donate to help those in need, because it is difficult, and I know that having support from people is always the best thing in any sort of difficult situation. I've never been on this degree, but it definitely does help. So yeah, that's kind of why I want to make this video. Japan, my heart is with you and its people. Tragedy struck before, but the Japan that I've seen and the people that I know from it are strong and resilient, and no matter how much pain does come, they are always able to find light and always able to rebuild and come back from anything that happens. So, yeah. 皆さん、ありがとうございます。じゃあ、また明日。